Hey everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Due to the popularity
Of our last group vid,
We have
Decided
To do something else.
this is
our reverse.
our reverse.
our reverse.
Reverse.
our reverse
Our reverse.
Q&A.
We ask the questions.
And you lot answer them.
Select the
Games.
Begin! Which Transformer that you own, in your opinion, is perfect and couldn't be improved on in any way?
Perfect for me is still Masterpiece Prowl. I like the paint, I like the articulation, I love that he's a Fair Lady Z who reminds me just of the G1 figure.
Beast Wars. Masterpiece Optimus Primal. I cannot see this being improved in any way. Awesome.
Masterpiece Red Bumblebee. He is red. As a child, I had the Red Bumblebee, and all my friends were like, "Oh, that's from a pound shop. It's not a real Transformer. That's a knockoff," etc. And I was like, "No, it's not. There was a yellow cliff jumper on the peg as well near him, and it really is a prop Transformer." And they wouldn't believe me. However, years later, I did find out it was because he was from a micro-change toy line, and they were repurposed to become Transformers. So he has a very special place on my Spark. And I wouldn't change him for the world. I did have to come up with my own battle mask head so he looked like the vintage toy, but apart from that, love him.
This guy, this is Mick Toy's Trash Talk, also known as Swerve. He's a perfectly formed little tiny guy, absolutely excellent. His articulation is great. The way he looks like he's just jumped off the page of the comic books is brilliant. His accessories are all top notch. Let's say transformation, simple, fun, turns into a space car like he should do, rolls really, really well. Just everything about this guy is perfect. Sometimes it's not about the big guys and everything like that. Sometimes a little small package can be small but perfectly formed.
Okay, to answer your question, it's a toss-up between Masterpiece Optimus Primal and Titans Return Trigger Happy.
Wheeljack is the perfect Transformer. His proportions, his articulation, his transformation, hell, even his accessories are perfect. I can't say anything bad about Wheeljack.
My perfect Transformers Fans Toys Shrapnel, with an honourable mention to MP13. He's not perfect, but close enough for me.
I think the first one that comes in mind is Transformers Prime First Edition Optimus Prime. That figure is really great. The transformation's cool. It looks great in both modes. The weapons are really cool, even if the sword's a little rubbery. There's not much I can think to improve on him. He's perfect, almost like completely perfect, and I've never really had any thoughts of how to improve him.
From having a check for me, I'd say Masterpiece GT Sideswipe. He's perfect transformation. I love the colours, black, white and red. So for that one, I would go for him.
Of course, it's Universe 2.0 Sideswipe, because he's cool. He's red, he's black, he's cool.
If you've got to have a figure that cannot be improved, you've got to go small because there's nothing you can do at this scale. So, Iron Factory Wind Saber, aka Windblade. The jet mode's a bit bulky, but then again, at this scale, what are you going to do? And it's leagues above what Hasbro gave us. Great paint, great articulation, it's even got articulated VTOLs.
Mine would probably be the Toys R Us exclusive MP Bumblebee. I mean, he looks like the G1 cartoon. His articulation's through the roof. I like him. So
this was tough. I looked at my entire collection for about 30 minutes. I think I actually settled on Masterpiece Soundwave. He looks exactly like the character should in both modes. His transformation is interesting but not overly complicated. When I got this figure, I actually fell asleep with him in my hand like I was 2 years old. And that is essentially what this is all about. I'm old enough to be able to buy all the toys that I couldn't afford when I was a small child.
Would have to be a G1 Grimlock. I just love how he is. He's perfect when it comes to a dinosaur.
Wheeljack.
My figure I think in my collection is absolutely perfect is Generation Springer.
Yes, he is quite nice.
There's nothing I would change on that thing.
I'm a third-party fan, so I'm asking you, what is your favourite third-party figure and why?
I can only comment on what I've already got, and this has been on the shelf for a while, because look how bloody dusty it is. Has to be Wardog Warpath. He is awesome.
My favorite third-party figure ended up being a tie. I've got Invisible and Code, and it's for the same reasons. Both these figures are a joy to transform, and both of them nail the alt mode.
My favourite third-party figure is Vans Toys Swoop. It's not the best made thing in terms of balance and things like that, but the weight of it and the look of it especially, that's everything that I want as a collector. That's my thing, dead on.
Impactor! Why? Because fuck you, that's why.
Striker Manus. Why is he perfect? He's Striker Manus.
He is really quite lovely.
His posability is insane. The number of poses you can get him in is amazing.
My favorite third-party figure would be my Nemesis Primars, the PS02. Size, quality control's good, coloring's good, and he's a little ball of cuteness evil.
And I like a girl alt.
Yeah, do you know what's so awesome about him? His name is German for violence.
Indeed.
Probably go for this guy. Bit of a childhood hero because of the Marvel UK Transformers comics, and there never was a toy or anything. There was one that Hasbro made which was utterly shit, but thankfully Mastermind Creations came to the rescue and gave us this, which is Spartan, aka Impactor from the IDW comics. Absolutely love him, can't fault him, brilliant alt mode, harpoon action! Class.
I don't have any third-party figure, but I do like Warbotron Bruticus. I want one.
Not the Redgar one. One of the other Junkions, the third-party Junkion. They look exactly like they were in the film, in the comic, and they transform into the same sort of bike. And you know, I like the look and the colours mixed well and everything. So I'd go for the third-party Junkion.
For me, that would be Toy World's Constructor. Although he's 6 Transformers that form one bot, Toy World's version of Devastator is amazing. He fits with the Masterpiece line for me very well. He's one of my favorites. Not to diminish that there are so many other great ones out there.
But it's the TFCon Toronto exclusive Feral Queen. By God, this is awesome. It oozes character, it's got a physique, it's got joints for miles, the head's made by Venkster from Renderform, she's in Predaking's colours.
That's an easy question to answer, and I have it right here. This is Gigapower Slag. Slag was actually the only Dinobot I owned growing up, so there's a little bit of a nostalgia factor here. Also, I just got him, so he's literally the newest toy in my collection as of right now. But he's also the only other figure I was thinking about for the perfect figure as well, and I didn't choose him. I didn't want to have the same figure on here twice.
Mastermind Creations Carnifex. It is absolutely a great figure. After you figure out the shoulder pads, it is a great figure. There's like a few issues here and there, like this could be a little bit tighter on here. It stays fine, but if you move it, it does like to come off. Other than that, he's a great figure, and he is my favorite so far.
In a Transformers toy line, any time period, what one thing would you change?
The thing that bothered me the most growing up was that the toys didn't look like they did in the cartoon. I would make sure that every figure looked like it did from wherever they got the inspiration from that figure, whether it be the comic line, if it's a comic IDW comic version, I want it to look like it does in both modes of that. If it's from the movie, I want it to look like it did in the movie. If it's from a cartoon, I want it to look like it did in the cartoon. If it's from the audiobook, I want to look like it sounds in the audiobook. That's what's important to me.
I like to pose them, I like to take photos of them and do toy photography, and Transformers and toy photography is like it's like doing toy photography with the difficulty setting on hard, because they're so clunky and the articulation, even on the best ones, isn't really up to par with, like, you know, Marvel Legends and stuff. So I'd say articulation on all of them.
For me, that would have to be the Combiner Wars line. I just got tired of buying the same mold for a different name. I mean, Prowl was Sunstreaker and Streetwise, and then you had Vortex, who was Blades, and Alpha Bravo. I mean, it's like, dude, be creative. All they did was repaint and put a new head, maybe a little extra stuff. I would change that.
I'm gonna have to say Transformers Armada because of that Minicon gimmick. Some of them was good. Some of them didn't work so well, and Hot Shot's a good example.
The thing I'd most like to change would be the design approach. I'd much rather see robots taking the priority in the design rather than a car that can turn into a robot. I want to see a robot that can turn into a car, if that makes any sense to anyone.
Well, first off, I would go back in time, get the designs of Combiner Wars Brawl, and give him a good slap across the face.
Yeah, fix that mold.
Fix it. There's an easy way they could have done it. If his legs came down like that on a ratchet, that would have worked, and his combiner port could have been pushed out of that joint. But for some reason they thought, let's have this weird double hinge thing that doesn't tab in.
If I could change anything in the Transformers universe, it would be that I wouldn't name this bot Prowl. He was a very selfless, heroic character by his end, great story arc, and he deserves his own name. He is his own character. He's not a reimagining of the G1 whatsoever. I mean, Bulkhead got his own name, right?
Counselor. I'm gonna tell you right now, Combiner Wars or any other specific Transformer line that has the hollow inserts like in their forearms and legs to make them look like a damn Fisher Price toy. I'd change all that shit.
Combiner Wars. I would change that they didn't use the molds too much. Like, most of the figures, like, there's some retools I don't mind, like the Combiner Wars Hotspot into Onslaught, that I didn't mind that much. In fact, I loved that idea. But there's, like, figures used way too much, and it just didn't make any sense. Some of them could have been retooled from others, and some of them could be retooled into others. It just, like, I would stop making, like, just basic repaints. If you're gonna do a figure, try to be more involved in making it look different, because they all kind of look the same after over time.
I won't really change anything because the toys as they are inspired many of us, and to be honest, I don't really think any meddling needs to be done, to be quite frank.
I want to combine it with Predator King.
Yeah, make other Combiner Wars team like Predator King.
Abominus Piranacon.
And also, I would go back in time and give Transformers Animated another few waves of toys.
Yeah, Animated wasn't long enough.
I wanted that. Megatron, that was a triple change they were going to make. I wanted the Hot Shots.
Yeah, Ironhide.
And for G1, I would like to change about the scale of these figs. For example, like the Combiner, like these Combiner figures, like Dragstrip here, needs to be like bigger, and like someone said, like G1 Soundwave needs to be smaller. And yeah, the scale mainly, I'm ticked off by a scale. So, yeah.
Actually, there are two things I would change in the toy lines. First off, I'd be fixing RID. I probably would have had it much more on Cybertron. I would have cut out the first bit of RID and gone straight to Starscream, because once that starts kicking in, it's a much better show. Aside from that, do you remember the days when you used to be able to do this with your toys? Why wasn't it in Combiner Wars except for the leader classes? I want my light piping!
I wish there would be a proper G1 cartoon.
I suppose for some of them, like some of the early generations, change, give them more articulation. I think that would be work out perfectly well. So yeah, more articulation in some of the earlier toys.
Wow, what would I change? I think just the current toy lines, and I would put better paint and tighten up quality control.
What fiction medium inspired you the most growing up? Comics, audio recordings, cartoons or movies, books, or real-time storytelling? Or what kind of art What moves you the most when you was growing up and enjoying your fandoms?
For me, it's comic books. I love the art. I still draw to this day. I've actually expanded my abilities, which is great. But it all started with the love of comic.
When I was a kid, I liked nothing better than have a big pile of comics. I would spend hours pouring through them, and that's continued to this day. Although now they're on like a digital format instead. I still don't think anything really compares to comics as medium. And other than that, I think movies probably. Things like Jason and the Argonauts, the Alien franchise, Hong Kong action movies. I used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that as well. Anything that sort of activates the imagination and makes you come up with your own stuff is really cool.
Well, I grew up watching Beast Wars, so I'm going to say Beast Wars.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of Transformers in my childhood.
But Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, probably was Power Rangers
Yeah,
for
Power
me.
Rangers definitely. How like, oh yeah, stand up watching Power Rangers. Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself.
If we're talking about what got me more involved with Transformers, I think it'd be Transformers the movie, the live-action movie by Michael Bay, because that's when I actually got really into Transformers. I got interested, and that's how I found out about like the '80s Transformers and all these different ones. And I've been a fan since 2007. I like Shane McCarthy's stuff from IDW because he created Drift, and he's got some really good-looking art and everything.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sarcastic, absurdist, British sci-fi comedy at its finest.
For me, I grew up with the cartoons, so I'm going to have to say cartoons was the thing that inspired me the most from the franchise.
Cartoons were what I got into, but then the mini comics for Masters of the Universe are what made me love those.
Easy cartoons, any cartoon. I was overly addicted to TV growing up. I would watch cartoons all day and night. I never did any homework growing up because as soon as I got home, cartoons.
In terms of what inspired me growing up, it's definitely got to be anime. I binged the hell out of this thing. I got my grandmother into it, and we actually still watch it to this day. We just finished Baccano, in fact. I just like the style and the diversity of the medium. It's not a genre, it's a medium.
I really don't have one. I would have to say the J.R.R. Tolkien Middle-earth series from like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and before that.
The media that fueled my fandom as a young guy was definitely movies. Now, I was interested in all of this stuff before these movies came out, but my passion grew so much more once these properties had feature films.
Comics and cartoons, really. I didn't get into films until later on. So yes, comics and cartoons.
I like the comics and the animation, but I was most inspired by the packaging. I used to try and draw them from the box art and from the instructions as well.
I really like Pink Panther. It's one of the first cartoons I've ever watched since I was like a kid. And I really enjoyed that show. Mainly comedy. I really like the comedy of that. And which fandoms are moving the most? Explosions, Michael Bay, Bayformers, whatever. I like Bayformers. Yeah.
Which single Transformer from any line, continuity, or universe best represents you?
I hope I have slightly better manners and don't smell quite as bad, but if I had to pick one Transformer that would represent myself, it would have to be Rat Trap. Rat Trap is a bit of a wise guy for sure. He complains all the time, and he's definitely selfish, but at the end of the day, if you need a bot that can do his job and get your back when you need him, he's gonna do it.
I think if I had to go with someone of my personality, I think I'd have to go with Hot Rod. Like Classics Hot Rod here. I would have to say that because he's got like a young, a kid at heart thing. He cares for everyone sort of thing. And I try to be like young at heart and not try to be all like mean or anything. I try to be fun and happy and try to care for all other beings.
I'd say I'm best represented by Huffer. I try and be one of the good guys, but I can be a bit moody at times as well.
I would have to say Hot Rod because before he became Rodimus, he was a hothead, rash, and impulsive, and did it real quick.
And I would say that's Ultra Magnus for me. He's a leader, but at the same time he can follow. He's loyal. He's willing to protect his friends and those he cares for. That's me. Always has been, always will.
I honestly have no, I just don't, I don't know. If I had to choose one, I'd probably say Optimus Prime. That or Grimlock. Maybe Grimlock is a better option. I'm pretty dumb.
Well, I've got to go with IDW's take on Cyclonus. Because, like Cyclonus, I'm old as fuck. I've got resting bitch face. I love martial arts. I love a bit of a sword fight. And I've always got the horn.
Trailbreaker, Trail Cutter Guy from the IDW comic book series. He's a funny, drunk, talented person. I relate to that.
Is G1 Ratchet, because he's a medic, and I want to be a medic. I want to be a doctor, whatever you call it. And yeah, G1 Ratchet.
Trailbreaker.
I seem to think I'm a bit of a mix of all the Stunticons.
Yeah, he is. Pessimist, paranoid, tad bit aggressive.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm going to be very honest in my personality when I pick the Transformer that best personifies me, and I'm going to pick Toy World's Evilistar. This figure's by no means perfect. However, there's a certain charm to it. It doesn't follow anyone else's rules. Kind of like my way of going about life. Also, has got very big legs.
Brawn? You're a bit brawn. I think a bit Gears and Hoffer as well.
Brawn, Gears, Hoffer. That's me.
I don't know. I'd have to say Retgar. There's something about it. As soon as I first saw Retgar, that made an impression on me, and I don't know why. There's something about him that seemed like me, you know. Apart from the most strange concept of transforming robots, the weirdest one out of the transforming robots. So I'd say Retgar.
I'm going to have to go for that one because he resonated with me really well when I was a kid. It has to be Rat Trap, because Rat Trap was just awesome.
I'm gonna have to say Megatron. I like power, evil, bad guys kick ass. Jesus. Mine would probably be the G1. Probably Laserbeak, because he likes to watch stuff from afar. He's sneaky. I think I'm sneaky, and I'm pretty sleek.
What Transformer best represents me?
What is your favourite catchphrase from any 80s cartoon?
This one was an easy one. Cowabunga. Ninja Turtles was my jam. Ninja Turtles was bigger to me than Transformers, G.I. Joe, and He-Man. But Ninja Turtles was that sweet spot, right age, like late 80s. Cowabunga is where it's at.
And number 3, Grimlock, get your nude light. I say that to my dogs when they're getting on my nerves.
I've got better things to do tonight than die.
The 80s catchphrase that sticks out in my mind the most is, "This message will self-destruct."
Here's your assignment, Gadget. This message will self-destruct.
Because you always get a payoff.
I'm always on duty, Chief.
Oh, Gadget, you're my boy.
Power Extreme! Stream!
By the power extreme!
Grimlock yells, "Meet Grimlock kick butt," and kicks Unicron right in the butt.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There's a thin line between being a memory and a war hero.
Canada! Now, last time I filmed this, I actually got a sore throat.
I remember mostly his Go-Go Gadget from Inspector Gadget, so I'd go for Go-Go Gadget, whatever it is.
Go Gadget. RB. Cobra!
And now you know, and
Knowing
is
half the battle.
Half the battle. G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Love that phrase.
Thanks for watching, and Transformers and such. Congrats on getting 15k members. And let's wait for a journey of 2,000 members in tf&such. Goodbye.
Not much to me. Shut up, Richard.
I hope we didn't sound too weird in this.
When do we sound normal? Normal's boring.
I know that.